walkers and runners and brutes. Oh my. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good day, and I hope you're ready for some brutes, walkers, and runners painting today, because that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, I'm not batch painting the entire stuff from the Marvel Zombies X-Men Resistance standalone expansion. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to show you one model of each, and then a couple of the models, or like all the models, what they look like when they're finished painting. We're going to be using speed paints on this one to really get through it really quickly. I hope you enjoyed. These are going to be fast to paint, so let's get to the table and let's start painting.
Alright, so first of all, these guys were all primed with the Citadel primer White Scar. Why? Because sometimes I like to try different primers on miniatures. And of course, I'm using my Brainmatter speed paint on all the skin of these zombies, because that's what I decided to do with all the zombies from Marvel Zombies. And what the cool thing is, I've actually decided to paint up the brutes, the runners, and the walkers that are from the X-Men Resistance box. So these are the guys you go up against if you're a hero and not a zombie hero. And what's kind of cool is, well, again, it's batch painting, right? So I'm going to be showing you just one of each of the models, but there are two different brute versions, there are two different runner versions, and there are 5 different walker versions. But I'm not going to show you each one of those. You'll see them in the pictures at the end, and on the rotating, no, not on the rotating, but just in the pictures in the end, you'll see the different poses that these miniatures have. Now, here is one mistake I made. I went with a speed paint on the little fine details. This miniature is supposed to be all in blue. What I should have done, and you're going to see that the blue I use later is horrible, and I don't know what was going on with that speed paint, but anyways, I should have, to speed things up, and which is what I'm going to do on the future ones when I start batch painting the whole things for real. I'm actually going to use an airbrush to do a lot of the bigger sections, and then come back and touch up certain areas, especially like this one. I would do the whole thing in blue, then paint the face, paint the face plate, and then do the red and the skin and all that stuff separately. I don't know if it's gonna save time. I'll find out, and I might actually do a video on that when I do my how to airbrush video. I might actually show you guys how it saves a bit of time when you're painting a miniature. So this guy is called Multiple Man. He's one, but this is kind of funny too, because he has a hero card with him, and you can use, I guess, one of the zombie miniatures to represent him as a zombie hero, and then it says you can spawn more of him in a space to help. I don't know, I don't get it. I don't really understand all of that concept of how that would work, but because like, how would you know? I guess if you have a base on him, like the colored base that you're using. Anyways, next we're using some Moody Mauve on his pants for Multiple Men. As you saw, I used a few other colors on the other miniatures there, so I'm going back and forth between each of the runners, brutes, and walkers. But in the end, this is kind of funny. The green and the purple I used for this, I believe, is the exact same green and purple I used for Zombie Hulk. I might put a link up on top that might pop up that shows you the link to the zombie hero of Hulk. Anyways, so here I am using Tidal Wave, okay? And it is horrible. One, it didn't sound like it had mixing balls in it, so I added them to it afterwards. But look what it's doing. It is just pooling up. It's barely covering. I don't know what's going on with this one. I don't think I had this much trouble with it before, but it's horrible. So I'm going to touch this thing all up, and I even put it on the second one, and I even tried another blue, so the 1.0. I'll explain that when I get to that actual color. And I think the 1.0 is doing the same thing, and it wasn't as good. I also had no mixing balls in it. There was 3 of them of the speed paints I had that had no mixing balls, and that's what they would give. And it was Tidal Wave and Magic Blue. Those two from 2.0 were, or no, actually the 1.0 Magic Blue was doing that, and the 2.0 Tidal Wave was doing that. As you can see, I just used Ghillie there on the walker. Now I'm using some burnished red on the tracks and wheels of the tank part of the brute. If anyone out there is an X-Men fan, I am an X-Men fan, but I do not remember seeing a tank like this in X-Men. I don't remember seeing those blue guys that are runners. I have no idea who they are. Multiple Man, I think I've seen him in the comics. I'm not 100% sure, or not in the comics, but in the actual TV show. I think I remember who he was. He was kind of a bad guy at one point, I think. Or like he was an X-Men that left the X-Men. Anyways, something like that. Again, so here I'm just doing some grim black on this belt, the hair, and the boots of the walker here. And they're pretty much all done right now. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you're enjoying this video. Hit that like button, folks. Okay, hit it a lot. And go check out my TikTok. You can also join my Discord channel if you want to talk about miniatures and anything else that's hobby related. You can post your pics as well there. Have some fun. The link of that is in the description. You can also become a patron now. You can go over on patreon.com. I'm not offering very much right now because I'm just testing the waters to see how it works. $3 a month gets you access to early videos like this one in advance of YouTube. Possibly, I'm not sure yet which ones I'm going to be putting in advance. So this one might or may not be there. And then just getting some extra behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to be doing that for a little bit to see how Patreon works, since memberships on YouTube don't seem to be working very much either. You can also become a member if you want and help me grow this channel even more. Funds are always welcome. You can also tip me. Anyways, all right, Magic Blue. So here is Magic Blue 2.0. It had mixing balls in it, and look at the coverage. Okay, yeah, there was a blue already underneath it, but it's just going on so much smoother. And I don't know what was going on with those other two bottles. Like the Magic Blue 1.0 was horrible. So anyways, if you still have that one, I don't know, let me know in the comments if it did the same for you or not. So here's the three models we just painted. Look at that. You know, they just look amazing. I did the bases off camera because there was no point showing you guys that. You can do whatever you want with the bases. Now here's the two brutes, the two models you can get. Look at that, they just look amazing. That Bony Matter on that guy just looks amazing. Here's our mini Hulks. That's what I'm gonna call them. And these weird looking blue guys. That's the two models you get in the box. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.